want to share a concept that we talk about: only share problems one direction, up. When you go through issues in your life, what do most people want to do? They want to go talk to their friends, their family, their spouse, their buddies, right? Or it could be somebody that maybe you're a manager, you're upset with upper management, and you go down and talk to employees about, man, they just don't understand us. You know what you're doing? Unconsciously, you're teaching them to complain about you, okay? Unconsciously, you're teaching them to be negative. Unconsciously, you're teaching them to also make excuses. Unconsciously, you're teaching them to go share problems, to share gossip with other people. We have a code of honor in our office that says, deal direct or let it go. That you can't take a problem to anybody that's a partner to you. You can't take a problem to anybody that's an agent of yours or an employee of yours. That you can only take problems one direction, up, right? To that next person, to that leadership, to that mentor, to God, to family, up, right? You'll hear this in marriage. It'll say never share a problem with your spouse, your husband, or your wife, with your parents or your in-laws or your friends or anybody else. Why? Because they love you. They're going to take your side. And then down the road when you fix the problem, now all of a sudden you're good, but they're not good because they took your side. Don't share problems with people. I made this mistake when I was new in business and I would get challenged. I would be frustrated. I didn't know anything about this. I'd be like, man, he just doesn't understand my situation. I can't believe he called me out that way. Blah, 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 blah. I was 18, 19 years old. I'm 37 now. There's maturity that happens through life that you just sometimes you got to go through it. And then I realized, man, you know what? Then things got better. And then what happened? My team would be like, yeah, you know, da 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 da. And then all of a sudden they complained, right? So I realized that those that gossip to you will gossip about you. Those that talk to about problems with you, right, to you, will also go share your problems with other people. So we have a rule that says never share a problem down. Don't share a problem with your team. Don't share negativity with your team. Just think about this from a positive standpoint. Everybody wants to feel safe. Everybody wants to feel like, man, all things are going to work out. And you know what most people can't do? Most people can't be that for other people. They don't know how to internally deal with the issue, put it in perspective, come out with a strategy, understand what they can control, what they can't control, and then attack the things that they can control, right? To have that belief that things are going to work out, everything's going to get better, I'm going to do my part, we're going to win, it's going to work out, man. That positive spirit, most people don't have that. So they get stuck in problems. People love problems. People love talking about other problems because it makes them feel important. People love to gossip. Why? Because it's like, oh, really, really? And now you have something of interest and value. And you think about, what the hell did you just talk about? Right? Out of all the things that we can go do, how we could win, how we could get better, how amazing this world is, how amazing God is, how amazing it is to be alive, how grateful we are to live in America, to live in this country, to have an opportunity, to have eyes, to have ears, to have a mouth, to have a body that works, man. There are so many people that today can't get out of a hospital bed. They can't hear. I was just in a building right now and I asked a lady a question and she had to direct me with her hands and tell me she can't speak. Nothing against the lady, man. It wasn't her choice, right? There's people that can't even talk right now and you're worried about the shit that you got going on in your life when somebody else is, you got other people don't have food today, man. Other people don't have water today. Other people have a cleft lip. Other people have malnutrition. Other people don't have water. Other people are worried about being today in different countries in the world and in kid endangerment, right? Kid trafficking, sex trafficking. Other people are worried about being attacked because they're Christian or whatever their faith is, or they're Jewish or whatever their faith is. Man, you got so many other things to worry about. War, people dying, soldiers, kids, famine, all these things. And we come here and we complain. We complain. Sometimes I tell myself like, damn, George, shut up, man. Shut up already, man. Focus on the good. Make a list of 10 things you're grateful for right now. And it's so amazing, man. I lived so long in that, being that way. I lived such a long time being that person where I allowed the inside of me not to be a place I wanted to live. And I think there are so many of you right now that your inside, your inner environment, your inner voice, the way you think, right? That it's just a shitty state, man. It's a freaking ghetto you don't want to live in. It's a negative bank account, all right? It's an account you don't want to have. It's like, why did you allow it to be inside of you? Well, man, but that's just my environment. So what, bro? How long are you going to blame the past to steal your future? How long? Right? So, yeah, it wasn't my environment, dude. I grew up in a certain culture, Hispanic, personalities where it's like, man, it's so easy to focus on the problem. And you know what's crazy? I love my dad. My dad would be like, look at it. My mom's like, oh, it's going to be okay, right? Different personalities. And we have both of those examples. Which one do you pick, right? And a negative person knows they're negative, right? And that's why we want to be around positive people, right? Are you positive? Hey, man, this is horrible. Oh, my God. Hey, guess what, dude? It's okay. What can we do right now? What's the next step? How can we fix this? Man, did you hear what happened? Okay, what's the treatment? What's this look like? What's in our control? right? This does not mean that you're not going to cry, that you're not going to stress, that you're not going to panic, that you're not going to worry, that you're not going to be angry. This doesn't mean that, dude. What are you talking about? My first thing that happens is I react like a human being. I get frustrated, I get angry, I get defensive. That's my first reaction. I get overwhelmed, I get pissed off. That's my first reaction. But that's not the first response. That's my internal reaction. It's not my response. Then I take it and I say, okay, what can we do right now? And I'm pissed. Don't get me wrong. I'm pissed. There's some times where it's not like the language is not like, hey guys, what can we do right now? It's like, dude, this is some okay, all right, fine. What can we do right now? How can we fix this? Okay, I'm not perfect. I don't want to be perfect. I don't want you to think I'm perfect. I don't want anybody to think I'm perfect. But I will always get better, and I'm so grateful for my mentor. He says, we never look for perfection, we just look for progress. And so what's the internal way that you think, that you look at it? I told this young lady today, I said, your disability is an opportunity. Your adversity is an opportunity. Your problem is an opportunity. The obstacle is the way. And so how do you look at challenges? How do you internally look at challenges? How do you deal with challenges, right? Are you the person that goes out there and just overreacts? Are you the person that goes and tells everybody? Are you the person that goes and shares problems? Or are you the person that takes that big problem and makes it small? There's just such a great quote. It says, that's a small problem to a giant. That's a small problem in the scope of life. And there are some real problems that are real problems in, I think, life, death, sickness, divorce. There's some things out there, abuse, that are real problems. But I think a lot of us use these little problems, and what we do is we just keep watering it, keep feeding it, keep fertilizing the crap out of that problem until that problem is so big that now you have an excuse why you can't win when you're the one that grew that problem and allowed it to grow inside of you. I want to challenge you to take control of problems. I want to challenge you to take what's big and minimize it. I want to challenge you to have the right perspective. I want to challenge you to not react immediately. I want to challenge you not to go share problems with other people, with anybody, with just maybe up, meaning who's that next mentor you could talk to, okay? Maybe that's God, right? There's very few people that I can go with the problem up, okay? Maybe parents, maybe depending what it is, mentor, a couple friends, God, right? So for me, that's part of my faith. When I got closest to God, when I had the biggest problems, and I said, these are in my control, and I'm going to do what I can do about these, God, but that's outside of my control, and I need you to do your part. And God blessed me, and I'm so grateful, but I got closer to God when problems came, and that's unfortunately how most of us are. When things go wrong, that's when we go seek God, And the beautiful part about God is that he's like, hey, no problem, my son, my daughter, I love you, I'm going to do my part. And here's the other part too. It may not be an immediate solution. It may not be something that he's like, bam, gone. You may have a problem that's you got yourself into a big hole, and it's going to take a while to get yourself out of that problem. You know why? So you can learn perseverance. So you can learn patience. So you can learn commitment. Sometimes that problem is there to teach you. So what are those problems that you have today trying to teach you about what you need to do different? If you could change your perspective, you could change your life. I hope that for you. I wish that for you. If you found value in this, please subscribe, like, and share, and we'll see you on the next video, everybody.